Welcome.
Hello.
You got some
Let me pull up the.
ETs are here.
not
Must be.
surprised. I thought they were supposed to be here, so I was chatting with them this morning.
Shannon says hello. It was wonderful here today, sunny and 57.
Well,
57, that sounds pretty cold, Shannon.
yeah, like exactly.
I guess
What?
I mean, where we came from, it would be a warmer spring day, I guess.
Yeah. And where is that, Shannon?
Oh, Fargo. Yeah, fair enough.
Okay, got it.
Fargo, is that North Dakota or something? Where is Fargo?
Well, she would have a better idea than us.
Yeah, where's Fargo, Shannon? Oh,
Yeah.
North Dakota. Wow, look at that.
Hey.
I don't know how I knew
Yeah.
that.
See, it's working already.
A bit far from Canada. Yeah, no, that's about South Canada for sure. North Dakota, South Canada.
So,
Welcome, Michael and Joanne and Barbara.
yeah. Great to have you guys on the call.
Yeah, I know the time shifted there because we were expecting to be with the ET event right now, but it was actually Monday evening Eastern. So for us, that's tomorrow morning. So
Right.
here we are.
Right. Exactly. So, yeah. Imagine now mixing the ET in on this.
I know. We were already alienating ourselves.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
Now we're definitely alienating. Oh, for sure.
Well, keeping in mind that when I went to see Dr. Greer in Borrego Springs, California in November 2012. And I remember how skeptical, absolutely skeptical I was. We had our first meeting at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and there was like 25 guests, and then there was all of the team on top of that. So it was probably 32, 34 in the room. And everybody was talking about all of this, and I'm thinking, yeah, right. And then we went that night, and Dr. Greer has equipment to bring them in, and you know, like kind of like flashlight type things, and then everybody's, oh yeah, I see this one and I see that, and oh yeah, look at that one, and I'm thinking, what a bunch of bullshit. I don't see anything. You know? And so I understand skepticism quite clearly because I know how to play skepticism big time. So it's just kind of,
Well, that's quite the challenge of the belief system.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
going to, yeah,
yeah,
the ETs.
yeah. But I changed my mind very rapidly the next morning when a dozen of them met me as I was walking back to do my what I called at that time my IAMDIVINITY, which is now Divine Focus. IAM Energy. Yeah. And yes, and they actually met me. So that's when, okay,
It wasn't a belief anymore.
it wasn't a belief. Wasn't a negative belief or a positive belief. It's holy shit, there they are right there.
Yeah.
It's a knowing. It's a knowing. It was a knowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I know they're real.
Yeah, now they're real. Yeah. It's yeah, so anyway, I'm back in Davao for a week or so.
Mhm.
And nice to be here in the studio. I trust those of you that were on the call yesterday appreciated the beautiful view from Divinity Mountain. I'm sure you it's certainly breathtaking from up there, that's for sure.
Mhm.
And like I was saying, I work with my sweetheart and two others that are part of the team there, and took them through the process the day before. And it's beyond, it's like sometimes you just get so blown away by something that happens as amazing. And to go from complete and total resistance to gigantic, like that light shining, smiling, and you could just see the divinity. You could just see the divinity. It just, it's like come in like a waterfall. And yeah, it was pretty neat to see, pretty neat to witness for sure.
Speaking of water, tell them about that machine you found.
Oh, okay. So it was that's one of the only things missing up in Divinity Mountain for tourists is the water. So we're still trucking it from a you know, a pipeline. And it's probably a mile away where we had to hook up and start piping it, and you had to put it in the ground a foot, the piping. And lo and behold, that very day that we were making that decision, I found a, yeah, it's, let me see if I can find, I took a picture, and it was this, what's it called? And it's about, it's either 30 or 60 gallons of water an hour out of the air.
The water freedom
What?
system.
I see that in Hawaii. They pull it from there.
Right. Yeah.
Water freedom system.
Water freedom system.
Yeah, from the self-sufficiency network.
So like,
So how big did you see the size of it? You know?
no, what I think it is they send you a list of the materials you need and you put it together. That's my guess, because I couldn't get to the end.
Shannon's calling it a dehumidifier.
Oh, like a dehumidifier? Well, I mean, that would be what it would be, yeah.
Yeah. I remember watching a documentary, it was called Billions of Change, something like that, about 10 years ago. And the guy it was more of a commercial size. It was pretty big.
Right.
For a few $1,000, but it was just pulling air out of the atmosphere, making water.
Yeah. Well, this is a sum total of $39. So instead of, I was probably going to put in 50,000 pesos or 100,000 pesos to get that pipeline, or more than that.
And it was 60 gallons and for how much time? Like
An hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So automatically I'm like, well, that's confirmation for me on the breatharian program
Yes.
that I can breathe in enough water, you know, that
Yes.
I don't need any intake.
Yeah, totally.
Like that definitely confirms, you know, in the physical.
But it is amazing how when we are starting to make a decision to go in a different direction, how the universe provides.
You mean when we make those fancy plans and then the universe comes up with something quantumly beyond it?
Yeah,
You're like, oh, it makes my plan obsolete.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
So then you get wise and stop making plans after a while.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Yeah. And just like, actually the one that came to mind was me making the decision to quit drinking. And, you know, 44 years ago. And how just different people showed up in my life well, it wasn't even a person. I'll tell you the one that saved me. I was on 16th Avenue and Center Street in Calgary. I was living in Calgary at the time. And I was 3 months clean. And I'm sitting at the red light and I look over to the right Now, the building is not there anymore, but it was, at that time, it was the Beacon Hotel. It was the Beacon Hotel is what it was on 16th Avenue and Center Street. And I looked over. Now, forgot about all of the pain and misery and suffering and why I quit to begin with. And what I'm thinking is, can I make a right turn and get in behind the Beacon Hotel, or do I make a left and go behind the Royal Bank and park there to go into the bar? So it wasn't like, and guess what happened? The light had changed green in my daydreaming state. There was an 18-wheeler behind me and blew the air horn and scared the shit out of me. And I took off forgetting about taking a drink. So it wasn't even a person per se. Yes, it was a person driving the 18-wheeler, but it wasn't, you know. So that's like,
Call that divine intervention.
yes, that's exactly what it is. And so our divinity guiding us to something that is best for us, you know. Yeah. So anyway.
Tell them about the decision you made this morning. Even I was shocked.
So we must have been talking for at least 2 hours last night.
It was quite a while.
It was quite a while. It was quite a while. I just get in at 9 o'clock last night from Islam. And we were chatting away. And anyway, I've mentioned this different times. I sleep outside at night. And and so after this conversation, Jamie's talking about the breatharian, like the breath and the like the whatevers, right? And I'm processing in one way or another. Had no intention of making any decisions about anything. And this morning when I awoke, well, it wasn't this morning when I awoke, because this morning when I awake, that's my divine focus. So it's like 3:30, 3:45 till 6, like somewhere like that. And so here I'm all of a sudden, I'm noticing my breathing. It's almost like I'm eating food. It's almost like I'm eating air. That's what it seemed like to me. It was like, wow, I'm getting full. Like, like, what is this? What is going on here? Like, somebody had to mention that the day before. It's like, yeah, go back to the sanitarium where you belong.
The mental asylum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was literally like I was having breakfast, eating the air. And anyway, so it's quite the thing when we make a decision to go in a direction, how the divine finds ways to guide us, that kind of thing. So
And when you're in the indecision, and it sends you confirmations to lock in the decision.
Yes,
right?
yeah.
When you're like on the fence
Yeah.
about something.
Yeah, and I was thinking, well, Jamie can do the breath area all he wants, so I'll just keep an eye on him. That's it.
Yeah,
That was basically what my decision was last night. Yeah, you got a month in, bud, and you're still alive. I'll take the first step forward.
That's so awesome.
What's that? And it was crazy. One of the conversations Jamie and I had last night was some of the people that we've run across along the way, that that ended up taking our process, or we delved into what they were doing. And one of them was one in Mexico. That was what must have been a couple of months we were involved with that.
Giancarlo?
No.
Or who?
what's his name? Val.
Oh, Valentine.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we met him at the tail end of Mexico because we were stopping in Mexico City to get my passport,
Oh, yes.
and I met him outside the passport office,
Right.
and we were like waiting for mine to be done. And I think I picked it up that day, so we were flying out a few days after that.
Yeah.
But then Steven stayed behind, so
Right.
we were getting all the information from Steven for the
Mhm.
next whatever couple months. Yeah.
But what it is just that how dramatically, like I'm talking dramatically different his way of thinking was and what he's seen and what he had and all of that. And also was saying that he could see what it was I had way beyond what I was able to. So what I'm talking about is the different people that we encountered in our 4-year trek together, you know.
Yeah, that all had their own superpower, but speaking a very similar language.
Yeah.
Like when I met this Valentine guy outside the passport office, he came to me showing me these documents, and just what popped out of the page, it said consciousness technology. I'm like, buddy, you got to come with me. You know, so I get him to jump in the Uber with me outside the passport office to go back to the hotel where Don and Steven were. Like, you got to meet Don. And so I'm in the Uber with him, and I had this like wild, energetic experience just sitting next to him and hearing what he was saying. I didn't understand the words, but it was just like this insane like power up, and I knew he had something. Didn't know what it was, but we got back to the hotel and we were starting to dissect some of it. But yeah, just the different superheroes that have their own thing, their own powers, right? The Superman versus the Batman.
Yeah.
You know, but then them coming together as one, like the Avengers.
Yes. Well, actually, we had a chat about that. I took a picture. I didn't find it yet. When we were in, where was it?
Oh, in front of the superhero thing?
Yeah, where the superheroes were lined up.
Yeah, I think that was Kuala Lumpur.
Kuala Lumpur.
Yeah, I gotta check.
Yeah. And in the window, they had these full-size mannequins of each superhero. Wonder Woman, Superman, Spider-Man, you know, all of them. Batman. And it was like, yeah, that's kind of like what's happening in this process. Like there's these superheroes that are what's neat about it when the superhero is someone that took the process and found out they were a superhero.
Yeah.
Like that's really neat. That's like really neat.
Or knew they were, but scared shit of it until they dealt with the phobia of their light with the process.
Yes,
Yeah.
that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, yeah, because I mean, my objective right from the start was to raise humanity's consciousness to 700. And when Jamie heard that, he just jumped on board, and like, that's what we've been doing, and that's what you guys have been a part of, even though we zigzag back and forth, you know, with all these different topics and understandings and journeys. And Amy, you made it to the live call. Way to go, girl.
Welcome, Amy.
Good. Finally. Yes. So yeah, it's quite liberating actually to know that we have these superpowers. And I'm not saying we as Jamie and I'm talking about we as humans. And yet, like, take, for example, our divinity. Like, how many don't know they're divine? I'm guessing like 99, kind of like Ivory Soap, 99 and 9/10 don't know they're divine. And people ask me that every day. What's this divinity thing you got going on here? Because I have it on my truck. I have, you know, Divinity Mountain and I Am Divinity, and those kind of things. And people are always asking me, like, what's that divinity? You know, and that's what it is. It's like they're waking up. They're waking up to their divine nature just by even saying it. And then, of course, asking the question and creates that curiosity and those kind of things. So it's pretty awesome, actually. And that's what we're here for. And I am going to say, those of you that have been persistent in being on the call, and that you're a part of that, you know, and there's many that come on the call and then leave. The one that stands out to me is that James.
Yeah.
Like the first time when Jamie had this big group of people that were in the financial, that's what it started with.
Yeah.
And this James, I think it was 89.
72.
72?
Hmm.
72 on the first call, on the first one that I come in and did the IAMDIVINITY. And it wasn't the actual transformation that day. It was.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, was it?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And you used him as the example.
Yes.
Yeah.
The dramatic transformation that James had. And that's the last time I saw him.
Yeah, a week later, he messaged me saying, "Yeah, I'm going through a lot. When's the next call?" And so I told you, like, hey, they're already asking for, let's do one 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, right.
So then we did it 2 weeks from then. Was stirred up from him. Like we put
Yeah, the stimulant
Yeah.
was him.
Yeah, we put it together for him, and he didn't make that call. And he's been on one of these lives out of, what are we at? 61?
63.
63. He's been on one, and he said he was coming
Coming
back
to the
into
next
it.
one, yeah.
Yeah, of course. And we haven't seen it since. I think it was 2 months ago. It was one of the earlier ones.
Yeah. And we're only using him as an example of
Yeah.
how the ego grabs you and pulls you, sucks you back into, you know, just like some of you were pissed off at what Jamie was talking about a couple of days ago and probably dropped half the calls, you know.
I know we haven't seen Janet for a few since we brought up food. She's admittedly a food lover for sure. But it's not like I said to anyone, like, don't.
Yeah, right.
That's just what I'm doing.
Yeah. But the
But yeah.
interpretation, the ego interprets things in a totally different way than it's meant to twist and hook and basically stop you from moving towards your light. And whatever degree of you know, especially if they're phobic, there is a phobia to your light, and anything that triggers that, it's just that much harder to move forward.
And the ego will come up with all the beautiful sounding excuses
Oh,
and justifications
yeah.
and the
Yeah.
real great reasons.
Yeah, and they're
All a bunch of bullshit.
yeah, they're either negative against this or positive away from this.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, they turn well, that's what the ego does. It turns a negative into a positive and a positive into a negative.
yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And finds anything like a
So it's, for example,
Yeah.
you're gonna die if you're in your light, but you can have some alcohol, or
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
take these 13 vaccines. It's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
You'll be able to handle it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have run into that. There's a guy we're trying to connect right now, stage 4 cancer, a young fella. And it'll be quite interesting how he works his way through that. And what happened was he talked to some of you may have heard this, where I did on December 20th, 2019, I opened up the door to take 10 people with late stage cancer through the process. So without having anybody signed up or anything, and it wasn't going to cost anything, I was just going to take whoever that showed up, and lo and behold, we ended up getting, and it was on Sunday, and I was having it on Saturday. Okay, because it's Christmas. It was December 19th, like, you know, like, so it needed to be done before Christmas. And so, yeah, we started, and here we had 10 on the Friday morning show up. I was at a convention there on Robson Street, and they came from, some of them came physically from a long distance, and others, you know, were on the call, found their way. Like one guy was from, I don't know where in the States, and he came all the way to Vancouver. Okay, it was California, and he came to Vancouver in person. Now here's these crazy stories, and these crazy stories are the ones of how the ego twists your thinking to walk away from something absolutely amazing. So he had stomach cancer, and his stomach was literally like out to here. Like it was like 2 feet out. It was like 12 months pregnant. Okay, that's what it looked like. And he'd come all this way. And he took the process, and it was just, you know, started at 8, where we're going to be done at 4. That's what it was. And when we were finished, which was around 2 o'clock, because then I had to do cleanup after, it was 2/3 gone. His stomach, it had shrunk by 2/3. Okay, by the end of the day. He said, "Don, whatever I have to do to finish this, like, just tell me." The next day, he called his the lady that knew about me, who lived in California. He was in New York. That's where he was. He come in from New York, and was talking to her, and he said, "Yeah, it's just a big scam," and never come back. Like, how is that? 2/3 gone physically. It was 2/3 gone. I had pictures pre and post. I had a camera there, people taking pictures. Here it is. And overnight, the ego had him convinced it was a scam, even though he lost 2/3 of the physical size of his stomach. And another one just on that, because there was a lot of things happened with those 10 people. One of them, he had stage 4 cancer, and I can't remember quite the whole story, but in 3 weeks it was gone. But he still had to go for these checkups, because of course they didn't believe it to begin with. And he would go into the hospital where they had all these people that had cancer. And he had tests, he had documents to prove it was all gone within 3 weeks. Gone. And he was and the only reason why he was coming back was to, you know, the medical, just for the checkup or whatever. And he'd be in a room with 10, 15, 20 people with cancer, and he was telling them, "Do you know there's a process that, like, you know, that this can happen? Like, you can overcome your cancer." Like, and it was going on and on and on. Not one person responded. Not one. And they're all dying of cancer. Like,
well, one that's getting me right now is I won't say who, but a close friend of ours that's been in the system for a few years. His mom, he just found out, has cancer. So he flew in to see her. And I told him, like, suggestion only, but Don's worked with anywhere from 25 to 30 people with cancer, and majority of them uncreated it after the process. Ultimately, it's up to their free will. But I suggest that when you're with your mom and she's in your energy, that you reach out to Don and have a chat, you know. And he went there last week, and I just saw that he flew out, and he hasn't reached out at all about it. And just, I mean, this is a guy that knows firsthand between the difference, and it's your own mother.
Yeah.
And what's the alternative? He knows the chemo radiation is a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
So what's the alternative? You can't throw money at it, you know? It's like crazy.
Yeah, and what I'm talking about, what we are talking about is how the ego can twist something to make it sound so this, like, that's a scam, or they're the whatevers, you know?
And yet this guy knows it's not. Firsthand experiences for years.
Yes, he had an unbelievable transformation the first time, and then the one that was what?
Not too long ago.
Yeah, 6 weeks.
Yeah, a month or two.
Month, two.
Yeah.
And just the next day, he's in the area of finance, and all of a sudden, it was this big explosion happened. Correct?
Yep.
The very next 1 or 2 days later, and so we had 3 years after has another, oh my God, proof. You know, like it's like, how can they make those decisions?
And I offered it to him as a gift too, so it wasn't like gonna
Break the bank.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
didn't even reach out about it.
Yeah. So anyway, still do these group. No, I just did the one. I was doing it for me. I was doing it for me to see, you know, just how powerful this is, and what it'd be like, and all of that. Kind of like,
Like an experiment.
yeah, experiment. Yeah. Okay, you guys. So that's what I just did the one. Yeah. Now, that was a group of 10. I've done, you know, 20 or 30 since that, but that wasn't
Individuals.
that was all individuals.
Yeah. Joanne says, I'm a carnivore and love what you are experiencing, Jamie. However, if I was in the Philippines, I'd eat everything they can cook. 92-year-old dementia mom. Any thoughts on how to help her?
Well,
That's
the
a
dementia,
loaded question.
yeah, the dementia piece is it can really affect a person's ability to process the process. So I know my oldest sister, she had light forms of Alzheimer's, and the first time I'd worked with her, what in the hell was it that she had? She was down on Prince Edward Island, and she lives in Calgary, and she had oh, I can't remember what it was, and they told her that you know, they didn't think that she would survive the flight from PEI, Prince Edward Island, to Calgary. So she did that, and once again, I'm just having difficulty recalling what the disease was that she had. And she talked to me about it. Anyway, I said, Phyllis, get the hell to Vancouver. And so she did. She jumped on a plane and came to Vancouver, and I worked with her. And and it was gone. Within a week, there was no trace. And but that wasn't a dementia. I forget what it was. And
Alzheimer's.
no, it didn't have to do with the mind. It had to do with the skin or like whatever. And so, but the dementia is like having difficulty communicating from that perspective. So anyway, you know, congrats that she's 92. Awesome. Yeah, super congrats. Yeah. So you know what? There was the other, yes, a few days ago I was in where my wife is from in the Philippines, and there was this young lady put up her hand for a ride because she knew me out in the country, and she was going to school, so I picked her up. And I said, "Oh, like, so what do you studying? Like, what are you near finished? Like, where are you at?" "Yeah, I'm graduating this year." "And what do you want to do with your education?" I said, "Oh, I want to become a doctor." "You want to become a doctor? You sure?" "Yeah." "Well, there's a lady that I know about that has a book you need to read, so you can decide whether you want to help people clean up their physical symptoms or whether you want to be a doctor." Okay. And so it was like, so her name is Debbie Shapiro. The name of the book is Mind Body Workbook. And that's where I really got a handle on making the connection between a physical symptom and an emotional, something emotional going on in the person's life, in their body. And so the mind-body connection. And I'm always looking, and Louise Hay is out there now for about 30 or 40 years. Hers is very general, whereas Debbie Shapiro is very accurate. Okay, oh, it's the stomach, this is what this is. Oh, it's the right finger, oh, that's what's going on here. You know, that kind of thing. There's an awesome book, and she's got more than one, but that's the one that I had for quite a while, the Mind Body Workbook. And it's just so accurate. It's just so accurate. Okay, now, the accuracy only comes when a person is okay with finding out the truth. Finding out the truth. Because if I'm in a dysfunctional marriage, or if, you know, or I'm whatever it might be, like, well, the crazy one that stands out for me as the lady's name was, and I mentioned her a couple of times already. Janessa was her name. She was 32, and she had spent more time in the hospital than out in the last year. Now think about that. 32 years of age, and she was literally, what's half of 365? It'd be 182 and a half. So that's how many days that she'd spent in the hospital for a myriad of physical symptoms. A myriad of physical symptoms. Okay. And one of them, she never even told me about it until at the end I'd asked her, I said, "So Janessa, how you doing?" You know, it took 2 hours and 20 minutes. And she said, "Oh my God, Don, it's gone." I said, "What do you mean it's gone? What's gone?" And she said, "I had a big ball the size of my fist on my stomach wall," and just lift up her blouse where it was. Said, "Look, it's gone." We're talking 2 hours and 20 minutes. The next year, she went to the hospital once for a checkup. Now, how dramatically different is that? How dramatically different. Yeah. So, and there's the odd time I do something that I'm not sure if I want to say this or not. The other day, where Rachma lives, her in that community, Diddlelook is the name of it actually, and in Buggenbine. And this guy that owned Divinity Mountain, his wife was in the hospital. She had an operation on her her stomach or something. I forget exactly what it was. Ulcers or I right now it's not coming. And so they had her in the hospital. They had the operation, and then he didn't have enough money to pay to get her out, and so they wouldn't let her out of the hospital until they paid. So I gave him the money because of the land that I had got, and he immediately called the ambulance, went and got her, and took her home, and we landed at his home at the same time. And so she was very weak, like just frail. And she walked around and they sat her on the couch in behind her. And I just said, would you be open to me doing a healing? Yeah. So anyway, I went around and I did a healing with her, and she all of a sudden just started sitting up, getting brighter and brighter. And then I just left. And the next morning I had to come back to that little community, and I was coming by their place, and she put herself in a position that I could see her, and she motioned me over to do another healing with her. And they can't believe the difference. Like, it's like, how powerful we are. How powerful we are. Okay, and what we can do, or if we're open, what others can do with us and to help us. Remembering that we create them. And sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. Didn't work with my wife because she left it very late to deal with what was really going on, and she ended up, well, when I told her what it was, she agreed. And before she died, she told me, that that's what it was. But she didn't let go of all of the emotion charged to it. And that's what was creating the cancer. And same with my daughter. Same thing with her dealing with her narcissistic husband. And she died of ovarian cancer. So, there's all these pieces at play. But I'm telling you, I'm going out on a limb saying, whatever they are, we create them. Whatever they are, we create them. Whether they're by accident, whether they're by, just the same thing over and over and over again, or not being able to make a decision about a dysfunctional marriage, or, my children that I'm having difficulty with, and whatever that is. And the body is dealing with it. It's trying to deal with it, and then it ends up creating these physical symptoms. So the first thing that needs to happen is, like the book, Debbie Shapiro, Mind Body Workbook. Find it very accurate, and to download it and Right? Whatever that is for you, find out what the origin is. Or like, what is the emotional connection to what that physical symptom is? Where it is in your body. You know, what's that got to do? It's got to do with the heart, got to do with the lungs, got to do with the stomach, got to do with the intestines. Like whatever it is, got to do with the back. And they're all, you know, guess what the heart is? Think it might be about love? Okay, that kind of thing. So some of them were pretty easy to guess. And that's what we have to clean up before the operation, before the whatever. I had
The
a
heart attack.
yeah, a heart attack. I had a doctor that was, she had cancer, 5 different cancers for 25 years. A doctor. And still had 2 cancers when her friend told her about me. And do you want me to tell you what she said about me? Well, I'll tell you what she said to me after they were gone. Said, if that wasn't my dear friend, I would never have spent a second with you. That's what she said after the cancers were gone. That was her, yeah.
That was her thank you?
Huh?
That was her thank
That
you?
was pretty well her thank you. Yeah. So, yeah, it's so the point about this is, hey, we give so much power to the doctors to cut or to do whatever. And that's the easy route, but it's the, you know, sometimes it has to be, or they're going to die, whatever. But it's like, you find out the connection. And I'll tell you, Debbie Shapira's is about as accurate as you can get. And the power you have to do something about that. Do something about your situation, whether you like it or not. Like, who was it? Tim and who was it? Paul and Donna. Like, what was going on with them? What was going on with them? And when I just asked Paul all those questions, and then Donna ended up asking questions as well. And the next thing you know, boom, things are cleaned up. And then what happens is Will and Chessa, his wife, were here, and they get triggered because they were doing the same programs. So you can't do this kind of stuff. Can't do these kind of things in the negative way, the ego way, and expect not to have physical, mental, emotional symptoms happen in your environment, in your body. And so you can run to the doctors forever. Run to the doctors forever. Like my brother, you know, 30 years. 30 years he ran to the doctor, taking 24 to 30 pills a day. Died of all the symptoms that he had. Never got clear of any of them.
Well, they take on what the ego says as truth, just same as with the doctors. So for example, my mom, and I watched her in her early 20s when I was a kid. She had stage 4 ovarian cancer.
Yep.
At least that's what the doctor told her.
Yeah.
And so she was unique in the sense that when she was told she had stage 4 ovarian cancer and she had a few months to live, instead of saying, okay, look, like sign me up, it was, nope, I'm going to get a second opinion. Right. And then the second doctor says the same thing. She goes third. Next thing you know, she's on Vancouver Island with these witch doctors and their herbal Chinese medicines and no cancer anymore now. And that was 30 years ago.
Right.
And then on the flip side, I watched my grandmother do the exact opposite. She had just retired. She was 63. She seemed to be like looking in decent health. Doctors tell her she has cancer. And for the next she was a fighter. So for the next 4 years, she was in and out of, I have cancer, and doing all the chemo stuff. And I had to watch her die on a hospice bed. And I remember going in there, and a friend of mine came to do a healing, and her husband freaking freaked out and kicked us all out of the room in the middle of that. But then my friend tells me that he found out that that hospice was putting poison into the food to speed up the process.
Wow.
Yeah, because she had already done all the chemo, spent all the money in the hospital across the street.
Right.
Now she's in the hospice, and it's like, okay, we need the bed for the next person,
Yeah.
and they poison the food. So
Yeah.
just all that death and dying. So if someone tells you you're gonna die, and you take it on as truth,
And
you create it.
nocebo, yeah.
Yeah, you create it.
You just follow, you speed the process up, whatever it may be.
Or you reject it, like my mom did,
Yeah,
and she hasn't died. You know?
yeah. Because you're literally giving your power to somebody.
Yes, exactly.
And in most cases, you're doing that in your environment. You're giving that power to somebody.
Yeah, like the other day, Will sent me the breatharian documentary that was all about three people died from trying breatharian, and like, don't ever do it, you're gonna die. And this one lady quit because she thought she was gonna die, like all this. And I saw it and rejected it, knowing it to me was not true. Didn't give my power away. And on the flip side, Will instantly got hungry, ran over to the mall and had a beef soup and an ice cream, and then had what'd you say, like sore throat, tonsillitis, fever, and sore throat like instantly after that. But it's just the difference, right? He accepted it as truth.
Yeah.
I'm gonna die if I do this, and I rejected it.
Yeah.
For me, it's like, I'm gonna die if I don't do this. Because I'm poisoning myself being a garbage can.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah. So it's definitely, well, you can do a muscle test. Like a muscle test is an awesome thing.
mhm.
For those of you, Dr. David Hawkins, Dr. Hawkins, David R. Hawkins, create this muscle test, and you can just literally go like that to find just literally just go like that and to find out a truth or a false. And that's how like accurate our body is.
Yeah.
That's how accurate it is. You can find out anything. And but you need to know how to do it properly. And I found that he's the best at showing that. And I suggest you do that. And the person that's doing the muscle test needs to have certainly
Well, it bypasses the intellect,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
energetic system that knows it's connected to the truth of all truth,
yeah.
that intuitive knowing.
So Joanne has written something.
Yeah, she sent that private to us.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay, good. So anyway, certainly it's like checking things out, but also like that, is this doctor the right doctor for me? And example, is this doctor the right doctor for me? If it is, go for it. They have something, and the one that, Rosie had this one that she just scammed her for about $250,000, well, close to $500,000. I just kept going to the States, going to the States, going to the States, and nothing working.
It doesn't matter how great the person is either, you're still giving your power away. It's like,
Yeah.
we are our own doctors. Like,
Yes.
our bodies were designed to heal.
Yeah.
And then
so,
if you get out of your way and stop poisoning yourself so that you don't need to heal, then you're just in a natural state.
yep. Exactly.
But I mean,
And on that, know that if, like the guy that I was telling you about the big bulge in the stomach from New York, and there's 2/3 gone that day. Well, it was him that allowed the process to work. It wasn't me healing him. It was him allowing himself to embrace the process and access his divinity. That's how that works. Okay. And so
he did it in the reverse when he said, "Oh, it's a big scam."
yeah, 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 exactly. So anyway, it's so any questions, any queries, any
It is awesome how powerful we are.
yeah, it is. It really, really,
and it's
truly,
quite obvious.
yeah, full on obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. And how instant some things are, really. Yeah. So
Question, comments, shares. Joanne says, looking forward to getting off the supplements and diets.
yeah,
Yeah, I was been taking these herbal like parasite cleanse in the first few days of the liquidarian, and Sam asked me like, "Oh, how are you feeling from taking those?" I said, "I feel amazing, but it's not because I'm taking those, it's because I stopped taking all of that."
right.
You know, it's like this, yeah, just less is more here. And the breatharian guy said, if you still believe in nutrition, breatharian is not going to work for you. You know.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, there's lots of choices out there, and yeah, belief systems, Joanne.
Yes.
The belief systems. You know, the
Versus the
nocebo and
knowing.
placebo. It does not give us any room for the knowing how powerful we are. Not at all. You know, you're believing something or somebody, or not believing somebody. That's what it is. It's a belief system. And that's what we're talking about. Coming back to what this is really and truly about, which is knowing that we're divine. That's what we're talking about here. We could spend forever talking about the whatever of what's actually going on for you and how powerful you truly are. You know, how in the hell can a guy get rid of 5 addictions in 3 hours?
I must have had faith.
Well, he had like the clear ones: alcohol, drugs, food, gambling, and sex in the middle of a divorce.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the guy that hadn't flown his private jet in 6 months. You know? And the next day, all his cravings were gone. He would have spent 5 years in one of those rehab centers. Especially with being a billionaire, they'd have, you know. So, we need to know this is how powerful we are. We can either do it in the negative way or in the positive way. You know, let's take a ridiculous example like Hitler. Look at how powerful he was. Look what he did. Imagine if he had got a hold of him and he did that in his light. Imagine what that would have been. Okay? And that's what I'm saying. It's like people with addictions and all of those things. The power. They're just using it in a negative way. But they have that power. We all have that power. It's just that some, you know, are have been bestowed more than others for what it is that they came here to figure out.
Well, it's the same power, it's just who's connecting more with it,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, yeah, that part, yeah. Yeah, for sure. And there's no limit. There is literally no limit to how much power there is.
Infinite supply.
Yeah. Like almost every day where I am in around where Rockmas family and relatives and everybody are, like there's hardly a day goes by and someone's, I can't believe how powerful you are, Don. You know, it's like I'm not lifting weights in front of them. Okay, it's so like that's not it at all. It's just that, and especially these young fellows that are around, you know, they're between 18 and 25 or something, and I'm doing something like there's a real steep step up to the cabin, up to the yeah, and been able to just go up there like, what age are you again? Like they just keep questioning me about my age, trying to make the connection of this power. But we, as in you and I, all have this power and have access to this power. And then we give it away. We give it away to relationships. Right, Sam?
We could, yeah. We can choose to give it away, yes.
Yeah. We can keep it. We can give it away to, you know, some illness or disease that we have and thinking, you know, it's someone else out there is going to deal with this. Someone else is going to take care of it. Now, I'm not saying don't go to a doctor to find out what's going on.
I am. Just kidding. Just kidding. Disclaimer.
Disclaimer, yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So, you know, because a lot of people don't have access to this kind of thing. And it's like, okay, find out what it is. Oh, I have cancer. Oh, okay. Where do I have the cancer? Oh, okay. How long have I had it? Okay.
And then you instantly create it, even if it wasn't there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I wouldn't even do that, especially if you're easily influenced.
But like you're
Take it
saying,
as true.
yeah, Joanna, belief system's crazy. Yeah, because they're ego based. They're who we think we are, not who we truly are. And our divinity is the knowing of who we are. And standing in that knowing is where the power is. And that's where everybody is noticing that in me. It's this power that I have, you know, and that's what it is this knowing. And some of them just see it, they can just see it. I'm not, like I said, it's not like lifting weights. It's a different power. But that power that we all have. So it's pretty awesome, actually.
I think Joanna has the same birthday as you. That's what she's saying.
Oh, yeah.
And the 22nd, we're doing the transformation. What day is it? 11th.
Yes.
Yes.
We're doing the transformation on the 22nd.
Yeah.
Okay. Done. Yeah. So my birthday's on the 22nd. That's why I was doing it that way, so I could actually remember. I could actually remember when I was doing it. For sure. Yeah. So anyway, you know what's neat is like knowing that how powerful this process is, and with absolute confidence, absolute knowing, actually, not even confidence, that anything can be cleaned up using this. And all you need to do is come to the table with, I'm in. I'm in. That's what I loved about Jamie. That's what I loved about Jamie. There was no, I'll think about it. You know what? That doesn't make sense. Could you give me some more? Is there something I can read? You know, that kind of thing. No, do you remember what you said?
When can we meet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When can we meet?
And you said, when are you in Vancouver next? I said, I'll call you right back. And I looked at flights and booked the next available one.
Yeah, and that was on a Thursday, I think.
Yeah,
And he showed up
Friday.
It was Friday, and showed up on Sunday.
Yeah.
Was he? Yeah.
Yeah, the flights were very few in between. It was April 2020 when everything was locked down
Yeah.
because we were all going to die from the air.
Yeah.
How many people took that one on? It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the major placebo thing. But that's what's needed. The more this happens, and even with that, he walked out the door 4 times. Was it 4 times or 3?
2 came back 3.
Okay, 2 came back 3.
But whatever.
Yeah.
Semantic.
So what I'm saying, even with that powerful of a drive, oh my God, this guy might have the answer, right? You know, whatever. And still with that, okay, I'm getting on a plane right now, heading to Vancouver. And that's what he did.
Well, you know what it was? Testing my power. How powerful am I? Can I uncreate this? Can I go, you know, is it reversible?
Yeah.
Like, who did this?
Yeah.
So finding out that I did it and I undid it, I can do it
Exactly.
again
Yeah.
and undo it again.
Yeah.
And do it again. And then I was like, okay, I don't need to do it. I don't need to undo it anymore.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm just gonna
Go straight.
Yeah.
Yeah. And but at the same time, having to give up his dependency on mood altering chemicals of one sort or another, because you can't have both. You can't jump into the fray and say, okay, I'm in, let's do it. Yeah, but
You're telling me I can't hold my light 100% after putting junk in my body?
yeah,
You're
like
telling me?
weed, like, you know, yeah,
And alcohol,
yeah,
yeah, and like
yeah,
meat and
yeah.
like
Well,
Wow.
others, some can get on, well, but I haven't gone to that restriction. I'm dealing with just the,
I'm just saying for me.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's all.
So you don't have to give up meat to take the process, okay?
I just noticed the more density I put in
Yeah.
myself, the more dense I became.
Well, and that is 100% true. 100% true. Um, I'm in.
Yeah.
What's that?
Insert disclaimer.
Yeah.
This is not medical advice. Check with your doctor before you do this process.
Yeah. Yeah.
We are not certified medical professionals.
Correct. Correct. We have nothing to do with the physical.
We do not have pharmaceutical drugs and vaccines to sell.
Yeah.
We will not tell you you're gonna die.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Shannon's laughing. Yeah, we can get fun with those creative disclaimers for sure.
yeah. Yeah. So anyway, it's on the other side, it's really awesome. Really, really, really awesome on my part to see you fully embrace this, and then all the things that happen as a result. all the things that happen as a result. Pretty full on. I remember when the guy I was telling you about that was going to the hospital for checkups and trying to convince people to at least, check this out. Like, here's the website, whatever, and no one responding. And anyway, he had a life-threatening illness, and he had an operation on Thursday or something. And his wife called me. He had taken the process, and his wife called me, and she said, he's going to die. He's going to die. And I'm having difficulty recalling all of the things. And he called at 8 o'clock at night, and just intense pain. And at 20 after 8, all the symptoms were gone that were causing all the pain. Like, how powerful does someone have to be for that? It wasn't my power that did that. It was his power that did that. Isn't that awesome that we're that powerful?
You just took on what you said is truth versus taking on what whoever was in that hospital as truth.
Yeah. Very good. Very good.
I'll leave the
Yeah.
certified label out of it.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Please.
So we can continue doing this process.
I just had to test the boundaries here.
But I'll tell you, there's nothing funny about cancer.
Nothing funny about believing you're gonna die just to create your death.
Yeah.
I mean, it is kind of funny. It's awesome how powerful we are.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
You're gonna find out on the other side that you did it. So
Yeah, and you're going to be pissed off that you lost the opportunity and have to go back and do it all over again. It's new people. Go get married. Get that career, get that job. Deal with, maybe even go into the militia.
yeah, just to go back to preschool all over again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's pretty amazing. So if there's anything to understand, it's like, how powerful are we? Are we there? What's the most powerful moment we ever had? What's the most powerful moment we ever had? What was that? And can we recreate it? Can we recreate that? And I'm telling you, if you did it once, it's there for you to access on a consistent basis. That's right. No matter which way it flies. Yeah, totally. So pretty exciting to know how powerful we are. No, and how far we can go. And what's happening with Jamie and I is, where we're going and what we're doing. It's like we're not stopping. We're not stopping at. Yeah, that was good. I really enjoyed getting to here. I think I'll just stay here. No, going to keep going. Jamie got a little ahead of me there in the last couple of months. So okay.
Yeah, we have one speed, go.
Yeah. Exactly.
And not slowing down for anyone. So
yeah, that's the
zero expectation for them to come, especially at that speed, especially with the head start that we've had.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So if you get anybody got any Comments, questions, queries? No. Anything going on for you? Oh, let me see. Hit a higher. How much higher? Like
Let's
one.
repeat that for the listener. Thank you, Don. I hope to hit a higher vibration someday. So cool.
Right.
And hope.
Okay. So listen to these words, Joanne. Hope, higher vibration,
Someday.
someday. Okay. Now, what if this was, I have hit the highest vibration ever, and I'm going to find out how high that is
Or I choose to hit the highest level of vibration possible today,
today,
right now.
right now. Yeah. So no measuring, no, like that's why I give people shit for using the word more. Like how much more?
1%.
A half of 1%, quarter of 1% more. That's more. That's more. Higher. How much higher? Caterpillar size.
Someday. How-
Someday. That
How
can
many
be.
years,
Yeah,
lifetimes?
and well, yeah, how many, yeah, exactly. So it's like watching that language and the limitations in those languages, because it's telling you the limitations you have about you and about your world. And if you were to rewrite that, Joanne, now that we've had this conversation, what would that be right now? That same sentence.
Now that you know, everything you say becomes truth.
And the limitations of each of those: hope, higher, some.
Okay, so hi guys.
I think she, hold on, Joanne, if
I
you're
don't
speaking, we gotta
I'm
turn
not
our audio.
100% sure.
Hang on.
Okay.
We're good? Okay, go ahead, Joanne.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure why I don't feel that I am at your level. And like I'm sorry, I hate to say a level, like a measurement, because I know that's not me. But where this is going, and I'm not sure, Don. Like,
Yeah, keep going.
how do I get to look like Jamie with the massive smile that I've been watching for a year? It's like, yes, I want Jamie.
Okay, so I'm going to give you an example, a recent example. Okay,
Okay.
so I work with my wife, her brother, and his wife just 2 days ago. Okay,
Okay.
and what happened was that they had their whole world, all three of them had their whole world based on other people making their decisions, other people being hard on them, but they were making all their decisions based on experiences that happened in their life and giving power to all three were giving their power to others, all three of them. Okay. And there were just like these small, like little, like being in an eggshell, small, and then carrying around all the anger and resentment and bitterness of all the things that happened to them. And when I made the connection, for them, here's what I did Are you ready to hear this?
Yes.
I asked them to think of their most powerful
Sorry, I'm
moment.
looking at Jamie's smile. Sorry. I like Jamie, I love you. You're so cute.
Love you.
Okay, I love you too.
Okay, you two, come on, can we continue now?
No, okay, okay.
So I asked them to think of their most powerful moment. And lo and behold, all three of them was holding their firstborn in their arms. Okay? Same thing for all three. And I'm going to tell you something. Instantly, they went to the highest they could not describe. The way they were describing is like, oh my God, it's like the earth. No, it's bigger than the earth. It's like multiple earths. It's like all the planet. Like they were just going about how gigantic their heart was and how gigantic their worth was, how invincible they felt, and how free they were. Boom, like that. Like that. Okay? That took 15 minutes to get them to see that and get them to take responsibility for them creating that and then accessing that. And it was like, boom, done. So 2 days later, they're still shining like the sun. All three of them. They just rewrote their history. And that took 5 minutes, that part. 5 minutes to rewrite it. Because what it is a decision. It's a decision. Okay, I'm in.
Okay.
This is who I am. And that's what I'm saying to you. In each of their cases, that was them that created that. They holding that baby in their hands, in their arms, seconds after it was born. Seconds after it was born. Okay? So, and there it was. And there was their power. So there was no more power. There was no, I forget what the rest of the words were. Some.
Higher.
Higher. There was no
Someday.
higher to
Yeah.
what?
Someday, like I'm
Someday.
seeing your light. I um I feel hope when I see
Hope.
Jamie's
Okay, now I'm going to tell you,
incredible
hope has got
friggin'
failure.
smile. Like,
Hope has got failure built in.
yes.
And that's the language you're using, Joanna. You're
Okay.
using that language to describe how you're processing your world. Okay? So, for example, have you ever had a child? Did you give birth to a child?
Yeah, I was the person that texted when I had my first child. I said, "What the fuck? Like, what the hell did I do this for? Like, why?" I didn't have that euphoria of childbirth and creating something special. I wanted to reverse it.
Okay.
And he's 33 now,
Yeah.
and he's okay. But yeah, I don't know why I had children. Seriously.
Well, it's a little too late after the fact, that's for sure.
Can't put him back. Yeah.
Yeah. Not sure if he'll fit now, but
And he
anyway.
does a lot of weed. So I relate and plays a lot of video games. So I relate to Sam.
So,
I'm not gonna try and change him. He's happy.
yeah. Well, it's not him you're going to try to change anyway, even if you
No, no,
could.
no, no, not at all.
Yeah.
He's good.
But notice, see, just notice how you frame having the birth of a child. Why did I ever do this?
Right.
Okay. And like, it's that kind of thing. It's that kind of way you have a processing information, and there's a pretty big chance you're still holding on to that way of seeing the world. Okay. Because it's showing
Okay.
up in your hope, higher, and someday.
Right.
Yeah. Either one day or day one, you decide.
Very good. Yeah. So that's how powerful we are.
Really is a choice. That's all it is at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It is a
And
choice, and I love that. I love that. It's a choice.
Yeah. So do you have a powerful moment in your life that you didn't downplay or second guess or minimize?
Yeah, I was about 3.5 years old, and
Young, 3.5 years.
Paul and Donna are my friends, so when I hear their stories, I just go like I'm just like flying. But at 3.5, I took my pink blanket and I was crossing the backyard of my family's property, and I was saying, "You guys are all fucked up. I am divine, and I know this isn't right." My mother
That is
stood up on,
absolutely amazing.
that is amazing.
it
Absolutely.
was.
No, it is.
It is. It is. So I'm the one
See,
with my 92
is way
year old
back
mother
there.
with dementia right now.
Yeah.
And it's a weird process to see her flash in and out of reality. Anyway,
Well,
that's besides the point. I see a lot of joy in her. She brings me joy. I
no,
think
you're
I
missing the
shared
point. You're missing the point.
okay,
Joanne,
get on.
Joanne, you're missing the
Okay.
point. Okay. Would you agree or disagree that that was an unbelievably powerful moment in your life at 3.5, taking your pinky blanket and going? Yes or no?
Oh, it was. It was. It was.
Yeah. Yeah. On a scale of 1 to 100, where would it be?
100.
Thank you. That's your powerful moment. And you probably only use it maybe 1 or 2 times for the rest of where you are today. Now, if you at 3.5 can stand in that kind of power, tell me why you can't do it all the time. Because that day was no hoping, no higher, and no someday. To that little 3.5, you're young, Joanne. Would you agree?
I agree.
Wonderful. Who did that?
I did.
Yes, you damn well did. Yes, you did. And you haven't used it, if at all, since. That power.
I have. I have for sure. Um, I love Jamie's scuba diving event with seaweed, And I posted that on Facebook. It's like, wow, if his girlfriend can go swimming under the ocean, I can do that too. Because uh,
There's no cousin
she's
about it.
amazing.
Okay. Joanne, at 3.5, you made an absolutely powerful adult decision.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what age you are now, but it's time for you to step back into that power and hold it, because it wasn't somebody else's, it was yours. And you used it. You accessed it and you used it. And that statement, that whole statement that you just gave, is not 1 ounce of it measured in that sentence. Not 1 ounce of that power. So what are you going to do? You're going to stay a victim to life? Because that's what this
No,
is. Hope is a
that's
victim.
not it. No.
Hope is a victim. Higher. Now, higher can be 1/1000th of a millimeter.
Okay.
So that's not it. And someday is not it.
Okay.
Okay, what?
I am a higher vibration.
No, you're not a higher
And
vibration.
it's not someday, it's now.
When is now?
I'm stepping into my 3.5-year-old power.
Young. The power
Young.
that when you were 3.5, you still have. Imagine. That's like a full-on adult decision you made at 3.5.
I did.
And how many times have you used that? What age are you now? How young are you now?
61 years young. And
Okay.
you're gonna marry
60.
me. You're gonna have a couple wives right now.
Okay.
I already proposed to
Thanks for
you.
letting me know that. Yeah. I didn't
How many
know.
do
I
you
didn't.
need?
Huh?
How many wives do you need?
We'll talk about that another time, where I'm just going to stay on path here for a sec.
Yeah, I'm not blushing. You are.
So,
No worries. No,
Joanne,
this is life. I'm there with you, Don. I'm Jamie,
no,
stop
no, no,
laughing.
you're just telling me you're not. I'm there with you.
Why?
No, I'm here with you.
Yes.
Okay, the language is saying that you don't have it. I'm going to be there. That's a future thing. I am
Okay.
here is present. Did you get that?
I do.
Do you?
I do. I'm
So
I'm
where's this power you had at 3.5? Where is it?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Where is the power that you exhibited in its full regalia at 3.5?
I am 3.5 right now. I am me. I am in my divinity now at the same as I was at 3.5.
Close your eyes
Okay.
and tell me how this feels as you're walking with your pinky.
Um, it feels amazing.
That's you. Is there any, are you trying to hit higher? Or are
I
you
don't have
hoping
to.
you're going to
I'm
hit
good.
hope?
I'm good.
What? What?
I'm good. I don't have to hit higher. I am like, I'm there. Like
No,
there's no,
listen,
there's no place higher to reach. I'm there.
no,
There's no,
no.
there's no place to
You're
go.
keep using language that tells me this is not true. I'm
Okay.
here. I've hit this highest vibration I've ever experienced in my whole life. It's here now. It's so cool.
Oh,
What's that sound like?
it sounds like Dawn, my skin is crawling with a happiness.
No,
Does
that's
that
bliss.
mean
That's bliss. It's not happy. Happy is a low vibration.
okay. My skin is blissed out.
Awesome.
I look
Now,
like Jamie right now. I got his I got his smile on my
that
face.
short hair, that's pretty short hair he's got here.
I'm gonna dye my mine green for St.
Let's
Patty's
stay on
Day.
task
Well,
here for a second. Let's stay on task, finish this,
okay, okay,
okay? Now, in
okay.
this state of with your walking with your pinky at 3.5, are you hoping here?
At
Are you
at
hoping? Yes
three
or
and
no?
a half, I'm not hoping. I
No,
am.
what? Yeah, I am. Very good. Are you hoping to get to a higher vibration?
No.
Why?
I'm in purpose. I know who I am.
Yes.
At three
And
and a
is this
half, I
going to,
knew.
no, it's the same as 3.5. I know. It's not a past tense or a future tense. It's a present tense.
Okay.
I know. Is it
Here.
someday?
No. No, no, no.
What day is it?
Today, right now.
Thank you. So, do you still have hope? Or has that changed?
No, there's no need for hope.
Good.
There's,
Okay. Does it need to be higher?
there's no need to be higher. It is. It's
Is it
now.
someday? Is it someday?
It's not in the future. It's not in the past. Right now.
Congratulations, Joanne.
Oh, Don, why did I need to reinforce this? We've talked
That
before.
bullshit. Shut up. Stop. This is
Shut
how.
up. Okay.
Yes, I did.
Is this how my husband speaks to me? Jesus.
No, you listen. I need you to get
Okay.
this
All right.
for your highest good.
Okay.
This state that you're in right now, that you were just sharing, this is you. What color are your eyes?
Blue.
It's the same color, same as the color of your eyes.
Okay.
This never left you. You stopped using it. Got it?
I got it. Thank you, both of you, for sharing this
Congratulations,
with the
Joanne.
world. It's a gift. Thank you. I am divinity, and
I am divine, yes.
I'm so thankful to participate in your movement. Thank you.
Well, and your job, should you wish to take it on, is to be that powerful being that you were at 3.5. Only do it
Okay.
with every breath and every heartbeat. That's it. That's all you have to do. Well, you still there?
Well, I'm still here.
So,
I'm gonna apply for adoption of Jamie.
okay.
Sorry, he's so cute.
Welcome home, Joanne.
Okay, I can't watch you guys late at night every night, but I do catch up, and you keep me on course.
Well, you just made a major transformation, a major transition. The fact that at 3.5, you stood in the power that you came to the planet with.
Yeah.
And you've just
And
decided today to do that. Am I correct? With every breath and every heartbeat moving forward.
yeah, for sure. I've been watching that child for the
No,
last
stay on
2
cat just for a
months.
second. No, Joanne,
Okay.
have you made your decision? This is who I am, and I am going to live in this 24/7, 365. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes, this is who I am.
This is who I am. It's correct. Okay? Do you need to hope for that?
No, no,
You
I do
you need
not need
to
to hope
hit
for
a
that.
higher do you need to hit a higher vibration?
I do not need to hit a higher vibration.
And do you need to do this someday?
Absolutely not. I just,
Congratulations. Welcome home, Joanne.
okay, well, I am coming to see you soon,
Okay.
both of you.
Well, great that you saw yourself first.
Yes, it's amazing.
Congratulations. Well done. Okay,
Thank you, Don. Thank you, Jamie.
you betcha.
Thank yourself, Joanne.
Yeah. Pretty awesome thing you just did, Joanne. Congratulations. Okay.
All
Okay.
right. 12 on the dot.
12 on the dot.
Wrap her up.
Yep.
Are we doing the onboarding still? Okay. May as well drop it just like that.
Okay.
Crypto fund. Yes, crypto fund's still open. Josh is doing amazing. We'll close any day, but we'll just keep you posted. If you want help on onboarding, will be here. And put on the video. Hi there, my name is Jamie Devine. Welcome to I Am Divinity. I'm super excited for you to embark on this journey. Just congratulations for even finding I Am Divinity. My journey has been over 16 years of personal development, spiritual programs, multiple religions. I've been an entrepreneur since the age of 13. I never had a regular job. And so going through all of that, showing up to Don Smith 4 years ago, to take his instant and permanent transformation, first of all, sounded a little hard to believe because I had done so much work and I still had all my shit. I was still an alcoholic, a weed addict, a narcissist. My financial gains in business and investing would shoot up and then cut right down and start over, shoot up, cut right down, and I could never hold my, my success. Going through his program, it was about 2 hours. All of my toxic patterns and programs were completely gone. Literally just gone in a second. And I can't even describe how liberating that moment was for me. But right after that, I told Dawn, I said, I don't want to do any of the business that I'm currently doing. I woke up to my purpose for coming to the planet when Dawn told me his vision of raising humanity's consciousness to the level of 700 on the scale, enlightenment, which was the cause of all causes. The level of consciousness is the cause of all of our individual and collective problems on the planet. And so to finally have that solution, experiencing that solution for myself, I just wanted to tell everyone and anyone that would listen. And of course, with all my entrepreneur background and my skills in marketing, I made an agreement with Dawn so that I could just, literally my job would be to hold my light and share my light with others and bring them to the process and actually get compensated for it. And so I'm super excited to announce that we've now created this entire system for you too. Now imagine that, being able to go through this instant and permanent transformation for yourself, be liberated of all your toxic patterns and programs, literally within a couple hours. And then on top of that, being able to have all your financial fuel and energy and livelihood come from this divine system. And so there's a few pieces to it. Number one, we have an affiliate partnership program. So you're a partner. Your job is to hold your light, share your light, and anyone that's attracted to it, bring them to the program, and we pay out 30% of all the financial part of the system to you. That's the first part. The second part is my experience in the financial realm took me into Forex and crypto over the last 10 years. And I've been through all the roller coaster rides, all the ups and downs, all the scams and schemes. And we landed on just a couple people that were actually full of integrity, and that have actually gone through the divinity process, and that are like nothing else. So our Forex fund is ran by an institutional trader. And if you've ever done anything in the financial realm in Forex, 99% of the retail space, the average everyday person, it's a scam. It's a scheme. You're going to lose your money. Maybe you were one of the few that got in early and took the money from the others, but eventually it collapses. I've seen them come and go over the years. But this institutional trader, he has 7 years of experience, and we have his entire track record of his strategy. He has an algorithm. He spent over $20 million in development up to this point. And so even with all that being said, there's still no guarantees. Of course, when it comes to investing, please only risk what you can afford. But we found something that's more solid than I've ever experienced, and it's where our personal funds are. And so you'll have access to that as well. His team has produced over the last 7 years on average 50 to 60% per year on the funds. And you don't have to do anything. You open up the brokerage account, our team will help you do that, and you park your funds there like you would a bank account, and his algorithm trades on all of the accounts. And so we can expect a 50 to 60% if it's anything like the previous average. But again, all the past performance never guarantees anything in the future. Just please be mindful of that. And then the last piece is our crypto fund. Now the crypto fund is very time sensitive. So a good friend of mine, Josh, who's handling the crypto fund, he's become an expert at this stuff. That's all he does every day. He goes and researches the top legitimate projects in crypto. To give you an example, in 2021, which was the last crypto bull run, Josh on his personal portfolio did over 8,000% that year. 8,600 to be exact. And so this was a kid that was 21 at the time and had his life savings in crypto and became a millionaire over that year of investing. And so just this last year, Josh told me, hey, I'm gonna do what I did last bull run, but I'm going to open it to a few friends and family. I said, Josh, no problem, I trust you. I sent him the funds for myself, and then I said, Josh, I want to open this up to our entire community. He said, well, I don't know if legally that's a little tough. I said, don't worry, I'll work on that. And we created Divine Markets, which is a legal entity to be able to facilitate this, both the Forex fund and the crypto fund. And so we overcame that, and Josh is exclusively handling all the crypto for our community. And his target for the next year is 1,000%, about a 10x on the funds. And again, there's absolutely no guarantees. Please only risk what you can afford to risk. And so that's it. That's the overview. It's pretty simple. You got the affiliate partnership program, which again is just going to share the financial part with you so that you can actually create a network and an income for yourself while holding your light and sharing your light. Which, by the way, going through this process, we wouldn't be able to pay you to not tell people about it, because you're just going to be radiating and people are going to be attracted to you. And so we just wanted to create a system where we're all partners in this to reach that goal of 114 superheroes of light that are holding this and shifting humanity's consciousness. And so I welcome you to be a part of that vision and mission and part of our team. And I'm excited for you to go through your process. By the way, all of this financial part is only exclusively available to those of you that have gone through the process and committed to that. So it's not going to be available to anyone else. So what a bonus, what a reward for accessing your light and holding it, that you get access to an institutional trading fund that you wouldn't be able to get access to unless you had $250,000 and you're an accredited investor and all those things that the institutions look for. So we created a bridge for you on that. And the crypto fund, unless you know someone like Josh, and even if you did, it's not cheap or easy to get involved with those things. But we've made it easy for those of you that go through this process. It's a $500 minimum on the Forex fund, $500 minimum on the crypto fund. So that's it. I'm excited for you, and we'll see you on the other side.